Okay, so Andre, first of all, it's not every day that you get a debut against an ex-champion in the main card. So my first question is really, what was your reaction when they came to you with the name?
Truly coming up front, the day that I ended up getting it, I literally almost walked away. Not because of the name, because they actually didn't tell me the name. They actually brought it to me. How do you feel about fighting Brazil? You know, in the UFC. And I'm sitting there stating like, yeah, anybody. I'll take anybody. It doesn't really matter, because in my eyes, at 135, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, I don't even do my homework on majority of all the fighters that are in here today. In my eyes, it's that I'm the best, so I'm end up showing them that I'm the best. So I'm gonna constantly keep doing what I do best and keep destroying the weight class. So I almost literally walked away from it. Just factors in that it was set on like managing situations, and the manager that I'm with right now is Matt Dodge, so Dodge Sports, and the group that I was with was KO Reps. So it kind of went from me being in KO Reps, but Matt brought me in there. Just factors in that was the person that I actually wanted to be with, or roll with, in the whole managing group. So that kind of like moved in to a moment where he separated from the group from my last fight, and after that happened, the guy from KO Reps kind of didn't break down like the full information, just saying, oh yeah, I got you a fight with the UFC, join me, leave that guy, and I'm a very loyal person. That's just how I am. Like, my team, who I roll with, is my team, and if I pick you and I choose you, that's the team that I'm going with, and that's the team that's going to stay from the beginning all the way into the end. So it kind of opened up to that door where I stated, if my manager ain't with it, we're not doing nothing, and I literally stated that, and that's my whole point. And it kind of diverted everything into the moment that it worked out the way that it was supposed to, and here I am. So even when they say hidden brow, like I stated, I'm more emotional on the factors that I made it, and I told my mom, and like 2 days before even signing the contract with the UFC, I was getting ready to be homeless. So it's like one of those. It was like an emotional week that week before I ended up signing. So yeah. 2 days later, I signed with the UFC. Now it's getting ready to fight on one of the biggest platforms in front of one of the amazing fan base or audience that we can call it, Brazil. So there it is. Like, I was end up happy off of that situation, but it opened up my door, opened up my eyes on a lot of situations where things didn't really hit me until I got like this letter from one of my friend's daughters, or essay. She wrote an essay for the school, and that's when everything kind of like hit me. But the whole brow thing, I promise you, I didn't even know who the real brow everything was. Like, everybody had to explain it to me. Yeah, he was pound for pound. He was this guy. He was that guy. He destroyed this until this last fight. And me, you're in the cage. You're the same as anybody else. You're the same as me. Everybody has equal grounds on that inside that cage, and that's just me. And it's like, but it's all due respect with him and whoever else I end up fighting in the future or in the past. Y'all get my respect, and that's that. But it's me taking over. So that's just how I gotta look at it. I'm taking over the game, and that's honestly how I'm pushing it in the life right now.
Okay, but so let's just rewind a little. So you said that 2 days before you were about to get homeless, but still you were gonna turn it down out of loyalty.
Still out of loyalty. It's just, think about it. Me even signing, it still would have been like a homeless UFC fighter. That would have been bad, like, I had no place to be type of deal. Trying to crash at my own coach's house or my other family house, and that's not it. Just a situation where I was at. It wasn't just me; it was my family as well as my mom, my brother. It's like my family comes first when it comes down to this. Like, even me. Like, everybody, even me be able to talk to you, everybody even able to see me fight, it was for my son. Like, like me fighting to be in his life, and still going off with that little court situation. But that all kind of ended up bringing me up to here. So me changing the way that I am at the end from building the way that I am today, it would have been, yeah, it's just would have been me. And I'm not with that. For me, stabbing anybody in the back, or me portraying who I really am, and who I really am is a loving person. So that's just how I am. So my family came first when it kind of came to everything, and I had to make sure that they were going to be okay.
So it's this kind of like a whirlwind situation, like super emotional, but then after it was all done and it was set and the contract was signed, and then things cooled out, how do you switch in your head, like, okay, the drama is over, now I need to focus on the fight? Was it hard just making that mental transition?
You can definitely say that. Truth be told, when it kind of comes down to everything, like, probably like an unstable type of person anyways, you know. It's like a funny situation. Like I literally wake up every morning telling myself, all right, you gotta smile before you walk outside, because it's like I wake up like sad, like, you know. Stated like me not being in my son's life, that's very heartaching, and I know it's been 5 years and I'm still trying to be in his life. Yeah, it's emotional moments where you end up kind of got to build it, but I got enough practice where I'm like used to it, you know. Like I feel like I'm getting ready to like tear up right now. Aww. All right, my bad. You know, like I said, everything's hitting now. Like people don't end up understanding, like shit hits me when it hits, and when it does, it's one of these moments where it's like, all right, I got to end up fixing it. I got to work it out. I got to end up being me. I got to do me. Like, you know, I'll probably like jump up and do like a few push-ups or something like that, you know. And then next you know it, I end up moving on. Like how most people get that nervousness, I don't get nervous. It's one of those things like the cage is really my escape from everything. Like, you know, and I know you probably gonna hear a lot of people say that, but for me, it's like, it's my home. Like, you know, like people, like, you know, like when people are using their own restroom, like, you know, or making a bowl of cereal in their own house, like, they're not nervous at your own place. And if you are, that's not your house. Like, so yeah, when it comes into being in the cage, that's why I ended up stating, like, it didn't really matter who it was. I don't do enough information or homework to be like, all right, this person is someone I got to be worried about or anything. I do enough homework to say, hey, I'm exciting. That person exciting. If me and him match, that will make a booming fight. The world will see me. The world will come up and end up saying that I'm somebody, you know. And since they'll know that I am somebody, they'll end up following me and want to end up knowing who I am and end up loving me. It's about value, and I am somebody that ends up bringing value to the world, you know.
That was going to be my next question, because you said the cage is a very, well, there's the fight itself and the part where another guy is trying to beat you up, which is concerning, but then there are the lights and the people watching. It's a whole different type of nervousness, right, that comes with it. But I'd read just saying somewhere that while some guys, the fame is kind of a consequence, and, you know, I just want to fight, and if I get exposure, then whatever. You said, I want to be worldwide. It seems like something you want. So is fame, notoriety, something that you're looking for with this profession?
Yes, definitely. People end up not understanding. Like, I end up seeing like a lot of people always downing, oh, I didn't make it, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, or how did you make it and not me? Well, besides me just being fighting, what else are you doing? Like, you know, me, I like to market myself. I'm a very freaking hilarious person. All right, at least that's what into my note. Some people might be like, no, he ain't funny, but if you end up following me, you'd be like, all right, you know, I actually kind of enjoy him. He's very entertaining. Like, you put me behind a mic or a camera or anything, give me 5 minutes, you're gonna end up loving me. It's like one of those things, and it's just not, like, you know, it's like I'm not just bringing it as an, okay, I'm a fighter. It's like one of those things that I am someone that needs attention. Well, you kind of look at it, because like I said, I've growing up my whole life, I've been looked down at. People have been looking at me with no value, sitting there stating like, he ain't nothing. I literally had a teacher or a counselor saying like, hey bro, you ain't gonna make it. Like, fact. It doesn't matter how your GPA is, you ain't gonna make it because of this. Like, you know, it's like little small things. Or me end up coming out to the point of watching my mom grow up, or watching her raise me, my little brother and my sister, or even with my pops. Like, my pops wasn't able to be there much because he had to end up like grind on the field of what he had to do, hustle. And then my mom had to work double time the jobs because, you know, they wasn't gifted with a lot of things. And for us, honestly, managing where we go to school and other people had like lunch pails, we had little plastic bags, like, you know, like that was our little Ziploc bags of our lunch. You know, it was those moments when they had snackables, we had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, like, you know, like you end up growing value of knowing and understanding where you're at and what you're doing and what's able to be. I'm the type of person that values the smallest things in the world, and people don't get that. Like, if you end up handing me like, all right, have you ever seen like one of these little kids that have like a little beat up doll? You know, like a little beat up doll, and then somebody will be like, oh, give me that doll and I'll give you something bigger. Like, you know, be like a bigger teddy bear or something. Yeah. And they're trying to teach you like, oh, you know, even though it's small, we give you something bigger. Like, what's bigger in the bag and box and everything. But to me, it's like, no, I prefer to keep the little teddy bear. Why? Because it's the first thing that you gave me. and that holds value. That's my first toy. Like, you know, you're gonna end up cherishing something like that, and that's how I am. So it kind of comes that to where I am today. It's like I do things bigger than what I do. It's like I know to be big in fighting, I gotta end up being a showboat when I'm at home or on camera, not in the cage. I mean, when I come to the cage, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's too funny, or, you know, he does too much hilarious stuff, so if he gets dropped or this or that, they're gonna go back to this tape and see he should have been taking it serious. But I take everything serious, you know. It's the thing is like when I end up cracking a joke, it's a serious moment, you know. Like I stated, I am the Deion Sanders. If people don't know who that is, that's Deion Sanders, one of the baddest cornerbacks in the world, you know, and / baseball player before he even got up in there. That's me. You feel me? That is 100% me. I'm like James Brown to the UFC, and they don't even understand that because I feel good. You know, Papa got a brand new bag. Do you hear me though? I don't think no one hears me. It's cool. It's all right. But anyways, we out here. That's you know, that's what we end up trying to let people know. I'm here to end up to take over the game. You know, excitement, bring in the crowd. People end up looking at it. I am the big money show, and that's how I feel, and that's what I believe, and that's exactly what I'm going to end up showing the world, and they're going to end up understanding and following me as well. Talking
about your opponent specifically, you said that you're not one to look at tape that much, and you're just going to do your show and everything, but you know, Barão was a very specific guy because he was such a monster for a really long time. So did you even like hear about it? Do you know of his reputation, and what have your coaches told you about him? Like, judging by what you could pick up on, how do you expect this fight to go?
If you want to, for the last question, how I expect it to go first round, you know, that's just me honestly being frank about the situation. I end up putting on the pressure. I am very confident with exactly what I'm able to do, and I have a great team that ends up pushing me to do what I'm actually able to do. So when it kind of comes down to it, I believe it will be the first round. I believe everything will be settled there. I already know he's exciting. That's the part that I end up getting. Now I understand that he ended up controlling everything, and me not watching tape and here watching tape. To be honest, you know, I watched what I needed to watch, and the moment of where it's honestly opening up the door, you fight me, basically everybody's going to do the exact same thing because you're fighting me. You have to do it. You know, you're going to end up being a wrestler. Brow's going to be one of the best wrestlers in the world that day. But I'm going to be stuffing the shit out of everything that he has to end up doing. And that's just me being frank on the situation, you know. So now it's going to come down to that moment he's going to have to stand with me. And I understand what he is that he enjoys that. And that's something I know about what I get from like Brazilian fighters, that they love that. And that's one of those things that, so as soon as they told me, oh, that's gonna be an exciting fight, I got excited. Just the fact is I know he's a black belt, but you ain't gonna see the black belt until it's like time to get on the floor type Brazil, like Aldo, like he is a black belt, probably one of the baddest jits guys in the world, but you don't see him on the ground. Why? Because he wants to stand, he wants to throw up upstairs, and I feel like that's where Hennen's at, and that's where his mind is set is at. So when they gave me that chance, I got excited. So as soon as they told me that and gave me that enough information, that instead of his divertive, oh, I got to wrestle and try to take him down, he's going to turn that into, or you know, when they end up getting hurt, it'll come down as an, okay, I'm going to end up standing on my shield and try to bang with you. So that part, he ends up getting 100% respect from me because I feel like that's what he's going to end up doing. And definitely, if it ends up happening that way, that's where he's going to go night-night on his shield. But I'm just telling you how I am. That's just how it is. I'm very upfront with a lot of things I end up doing, and I'm going to very much push forward on this fight. So I'm going to end up letting them know that I am the man, and I'm taking over this this division, and soon come up to 45 and take over that too. So.
Is this, okay, but is this, I also read about the featherweight, so is your idea to do just this one at bantamweight, or maybe a few more?
Oh, no. The first few contracts, the whole goal is Hennen and Barão, get up on the map, build my way up into the moment of fighting like Sugar, O'Malley. That'd be probably the next, or the winner of that fight, shoot into Cody / TJ if it's Cody, definitely, and then run into TJ at the end of my 4-fight contract, win that belt, and then end up moving up. So I definitely want to own 35, you know. But if everybody runs from me, then it is what it is. Then I'll move up to 45 because there's some like Brian Ortega, that's like exciting. Max Holloway, definitely want to jump on that. Even I feel if I end up getting her name wrong, my apology. Zibit, or Zabit.
Magomed Sharipov.
There you go. I got 100% was off. So my bad. So my apologies for butchering that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got
Like,
it.
yeah, he's exciting. And like, definitely. Like even Cub Swanson.
Yeah.
Back in home in Cali. That he is some. I'll end up like taking that fight. Anything at 45 that's exciting, I'll end up loving to jump on. Anybody that's open to exchange and throw hands with me, I'm 100% down. And you know, if they want to play that jits game, I got sneaky jits, so we can play the floor game as well. But the whole thing is that 35, 45, and then even up into the 55. I got 2 names that I want already, but I gotta hold off on that right now. But just know that people are going to end up knowing who I am, and they're going to end up calling me that pound for pound eventually, and it's probably going to be sooner rather than later.
And lastly, for me, I think you did mention your son, and I know this is it's a bittersweet date for you because it's a bit of a sad anniversary. And then, but what would a win on that day mean? What would your first UFC win on that day mean to you?
Value. Like, people don't really understand how much value that ends up bringing to me and to the people that are looking at me. You know, like I stated, without my boy and without this or that situation or everything going on, no one would know anything about me, and I'd still probably be working a 9 to 6 job or 9 to 5 job trying to support and basically bring all my money into courts. You know, it's basically the whole situation of how it happened. Yeah, it's tragic of what's going on, and me keeping my head up because me knowing that I'm gonna be in my son's life, that's what's keep pushing me. It's not hope. I don't hope for things. I don't pray for things. I fight for things, and that is one thing that I honestly end up doing. And I'm gonna continue to keep fighting until I get in my boy's life. And he's gonna end up understanding from the gate what happened, and he's gonna end up understanding why everything is happening and why I'm doing things, and it's gonna make him a better life, you know, my family a better life, everything that's in general of everything that's coming around a better life. Because my whole goal is to let people know that you're able to do things by working your ass off, you know. Exactly. So now where you've been is where you're going, and where I'm going is to the top, and the top is gonna be with my boy, and that's how I honestly feel about the situation. So that bittersweet ending, it is a doorway of letting me know that everything that I said from the gate is happening now. And now I'm making people a believer. When the ones that are around me understand where I came from, understand how I grew up, understand what the situation I was going into, the people I don't know are getting my story, and that's what they end up happening at the end of the day. It's someone that started from zero. He was a zero. Now it's coming like a full-on hero. Like, you know. So I'm not only going to save my boy's life, it's going to end up saving mine as well. And my boy actually has saved my life, so there it is. That's mine. Yeah, that's it, Doc.
Andre, thank you. Thank you so much.